Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Chris Williams and we're having another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we start with the headline news, and the headline news this evening is that Solomon Rondon could potentially terminate his contract this coming January transfer window and leave the club on a free transfer from Marca in English, the Spanish media outlet. Obviously translated into English, it's a different Twitter account. I, I don't know what to say about this other than obviously I think it's best for him, best for his career, best for the club. I think his time at Everton has been not a brilliant one. I think he's a player we're going to look back on fondly. Didn't help when the man that brought him in wasn't a popular man to begin with. To be fair to the fans, for a lot of fans say give him a chance, give him a chance. And I think fans did give him a chance. And he wasn't a very good footballer, was he, to watch Rondon? I hate to say it, but he looked like he played in Timberland boots. He was very, very bad to watch. Seemed like a nice fella, but never going to work. I think he's got the quality for the Premier League. Never mind Everton. I think he's a championship level player. Where he goes next will be interesting. Probably waiting to see where Benitez goes next. And then he'll probably bell him and go wherever Benitez ends up. But yeah, interesting, isn't it? Very interesting to see where he goes up. We also have that Everton already have Tom Cannon lined up as a coach, as coach details the long-term plan. Tom Cannon scored again for the under-21s the other day on a real good run of games. And apparently it looks like he has a chance to potentially come into the first team. There is a plan for him. Take the under-21s. Player said Frankie was excellent. And also mentioned Tom Cannon, who came on and had a really good game. It should be interesting to see how he comes along. Realistically, I think to be honest, when you look at the squad we've got, Tom Cannon needs to be breaking into the first team, doesn't he? Really, or at least getting on the bench for the first team. It'll be interesting to see how he develops, how they're going to move him into it. We also have news on his Marley Sarr as well. Everton have been given a little bit of a boost in terms of his transfer, which would be quite interesting, really. But yeah, so Marley Sarr, Everton have been handed a boost. The Hornets yesterday confirmed the arrival of 19-year-old forward Matthias Martins from Fluminense, which previously provided them with João Pedro and Richarlison. Martins could be good news, as the Mirror is saying that it paves the way for Sarr's exit at Vicarage Road. Sarr has been on a really good run for them in their bid for promotion. They did say they didn't want to let him go because of how ideal he is for that push, but if they've got a replacement for him in place, maybe that's because they see that Sarr said he wants to go and you can't really force him to stay. So that should be very, very interesting. We also have a bit of a potential for Kudus as well. And Everton's pursuit for Kudus, which has been ongoing for quite a while now. But yeah, we've got Ariel Smith from Sky Sports News speaking about Kudus. Gary Al Smith said, for Ghana, absolute star of the World Cup has been Mohamed Kudus, and we know the three Premier League clubs that are interested, Everton being one of the strongest. Not really a surprise when we were interested in him in the summer, didn't get him. Obviously, the club haven't let that go, and he's gone on to have a really good run. He probably will cost us more, but hey, as long as we get him, what's a little bit extra, 10 million on the bid, when we're looking at a potential star in the making there with this, and he is performing very, very well. We also have Tom Davis speaking about his dilemma at the football club. Davis has said that he might have to leave Everton to get progress in his career as he's fallen down the pecking order. When speaking to The Athletic, he said, I love the club and the city, but ultimately I want to play games, whether that be at Everton or somewhere else. If I'm not going to get that there, it's something I'm going to have to think about. Yeah, I think this is fair enough from him. He seems like a lovely lad. Loves the club, loves the city. But if he's not going to get games, he is a footballer. At the end of the day, he's 24 years old. He needs to think about what's best for his career. And if that's not at Everton, then unfortunately he might have to leave. It's a bit like John Joe Kenny last year. John Joe Kenny will have probably had the same feelings, but ultimately chose that he needed to get away for what's best for his career. We also have the news that Everton might not be this target, and it is Matheus Cunha. With the news that Wolves are leading the race. Sam Leveridge provided an update on Matheus Cunha, saying that he's not in the Atletico Madrid squad for their friendly against Ponferradina tonight. Exit team near. He also then added Wolves continue to lead the race, but Everton and Leeds are also interested. I think he's going to go to. Um, I think he's going to go to Wolves. I think that's the most obvious place for him. A lot of Portuguese lads, some Brazilian lads already. Speaks the language. Won't take him long to get settled there. I genuinely think that seems like the most realistic place for him. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We also have a Brereton Diaz claim. Blackburn boss John Dahl Thomason has revealed that it will take what it will take for his side to sell Ben Brereton Diaz. The informed Chilean international, who is out of contract by the way at the end of the season, has been linked with Everton throughout. He's got 22 goals in 37 championship games last season. Everton won him in the summer. It didn't happen. Everton have been told that they want attacking forwards. Frank Lampard has said that that's where he needs to improve. So yeah, it looks like potentially Brereton Diaz could be primed away with them from Blackburn. It's really silly for them not to sell him and then let him go on a free. If he's going to go anyway, you might as well make some money on him. Otherwise, it's just a bit silly. Um, Leading on with more transfer news, we have Everton are interested in Lech midfielder Juan Gonzalez. West Ham and Spurs are also interested in a 20-year-old that's come from Gazzetta Italy. Looked to be a handy little player, 20 years old, a bit of a holding midfielder, deep line playmaker potentially. But yeah, looks to be a really good player. Looks a bit small, so I'm going to say he's a bit more of a deep line playmaker, a destroyer type player. Saying that though, Idrissa Gueye isn't exactly a big lad in terms of stockiness. But yeah, he's not your Wilfred and Diddy destroyer. But it looks to be an interesting one. 20 years old. Nice to see us linked with young players that even if they don't work, there is some resale value in them. We also have from Footy Insider 247 some interesting news on the manager point. Obviously, Everton haven't been in a great spot. There were rumours, mumblings, and the fans do Everton sack Frank Lampard during this really great opportunity to sack managers if you ever were going to do it. It looks like the club have decided to stick by him. The question now is Frank Lampard stick by the club. Everton are based for interest in Frank Lampard from the FA if England manager's job is available should Gareth Southgate leave. Lampard will be a contender for a role. That's come from Footy Insider 247. It's amazing how well a name and a reputation can propel you, isn't it? Uh, I don't think I didn't think he fully deserved the Everton job on a very thin CV. Whether I get proven right or wrong is still in the pudding. Whether I'm proven right and wrong, and that is still to be decided. But if you were gonna hire him off of our run as well, albeit there are some things that have gone against him. The club isn't brilliant, although I will say this. I do believe this in the bottom of my heart. The squad we have now shouldn't be where it is. That's a solid mid-table squad, and people can argue with me all you like. But when you look at the individual talents in that squad, there is no way we should be where we are. But anyway, yeah, I think that is purely on the merit of it's Frank Lampard and he's an former England international. Maybe you could say England legend, part of the golden generation. I think legend to be very, very, very loosely used as well. To be fair, when I think about it, but yeah, it's amazing how far a name can merit. And I'm not before anyone says in the comments I'm not anti-Frank. I just think that that's amazing that after a run of just avoiding relegation and being straight back in it with a squad that should be mid-table. The England job's beckoning. I think as well, it will really take him a lot. I think he should stick by the club, bearing in mind we haven't sacked him, even though you could have this window. The club have stuck by him. But I don't know the ins and outs of the club. If the club aren't going to stick by him in the transfer window, he might be tempted to leave then if he's not got the back in, which Kevin Campbell, Everton legend, said he needs back in. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. It's Frank Lampard's turn to decide whether he sticks by the club or not. And finally, news: Everton and Manchester United played in a behind closed doors game yesterday and drew 1-1. Yeah, don't know any of the players who scored or played in it. The news has been quite to the ground. I don't think many of the United big first teamers will have been in that squad. I don't know if we played a full length squad. I hope not. If we're only drawing 1-0 with the United kids, but yeah, interesting nonetheless. That's all we got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts. I'll see you soon.